Hello everybody, hello and welcome back to my channel. How are you all? Are you well? And did you enjoy the recordings while I've been away for a couple of weeks? So we have been moving into, in my last recording we did the new minor cards and beginning with the Ace of Swords. So we're going to be looking at that tonight and how you can actually learn how to read the Ace of Swords, because that's a card where you kind of go, what's that all about? Yeah, so we're going to be looking at some examples of that, and I do hope that you have been enjoying using your pairs, and tonight I'm going to be showing you some more of that. So how is everybody? Are you all well? Please say hello. I need to share the link. Okay, so let's see if, there you go. So if you want to come on and say hello and join me, you're more than welcome to do so. Just ping me on the messages and do indeed put your comments up there so that we are able to know who you are, at what stage you are at in your journey. So let's take us into the Ace of Swords. Hopefully this will come up. Ah, brilliant, we've got it. All right, so I'm putting two cards together, and we've got the World card and we've got the Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords, it's a breakthrough, it's a cutting through. And let's say that again, we'll keep it to a work question, and somebody's saying, how am I getting on at work? What's actually happening for me? And you see this pair come up, the World and the Ace of Swords. So this combination is turning around and saying there's been a bit of a completion, and you have embarked upon where you want to be and how you want it to be. It's been an education. You have become more worldly, as it were, and that Ace of Swords now is starting a new beginning, and that new beginning is about cutting through, a breakthrough. Hello Carla, hello. Thank you so much, and missed you too. And so here we are going back into how to actually fuse our pairs. If you've got any questions, please do ask. Remember, I actually teach this, and yes, you can find out all about how to actually read tarot to improve your skills or to be a professional reader. And you can get that by actually going on to my website, tarotwithemery.com. I'll be showing you a little bit about that later on. So, excuse me, I'm going to have a glass of water. I presume you can hear me, and good to have everybody along. So, how does it work when you've got the World card and the Ace of Swords? And the question that's been asked is, how am I going to get on at work? This, if it comes up in the self, would probably be about saying, well, you've completed a cycle and you're now looking at new ideas. You've had some new thoughts, but you're also weighing up the pros and cons. It's a breakthrough, it's a cutting away, new idea. So maybe you're actually looking to do something different with your work. Maybe that's about the fact that you'd like to move, or you'd like to actually do something different. Maybe you're looking at the difficulties and the challenges that will be ahead of actually trying something from scratch. So you're weighing up the pros and cons. Is it worth it? Can I do it? How am I going to fit it in? All this kind of thing. And that's the communication that, of course, is coming from your own mental process. Ace of Swords is all about that mental process. Okay, so let's have a look at another example. Judgment, lovely Judgment. So if this came up and our person is asking, how is it going to be for me at work? It's like, well, you know, if this comes up in the self position and the Ace of Swords is the minor card here, we'd be looking at saying you've had some new ideas about what you want to do. You're at a bit of a crossroads. That's coming from the Judgment card. And so your new thinking is helping you look at your choices and look at sort of how you got to where you are right now. The World card was more about completing a cycle and looking to actually embark upon something new with the Ace of Swords. When we've got the Judgment card, we're actually looking at all of how we've got here. how did we get here? You know, what was it that made us suddenly go, that's it, I've got a new idea, I've got a new spark of inspiration, and I need to cut away from the old, and it's changed. I want to go in a different direction. But again, we can see in that Ace of Swords, we've got the challenges of those mountains, we've got those thoughts rolling around in our head, we are maybe even communicating with other people, or maybe it's because of what someone has actually said to you that's caused you to actually fine-tune what you're going to do next, okay? So it's about being ready for that next stage, okay? So do join us. People here from YouTube, hello, do say hello. Carla's here. Thanks, Carla. Lovely to know that you're back and following along. And I'm hoping that this is helping you with your tarot courses, because I know that you've actually bought some of the courses, and that I think you were saying was the beginners, so the major cards, the minor cards, and fusing them all together. And this is a bit like how to work it all, how to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, as it were. I'm going to play this in case anybody does want to come on and join us and share maybe what they do, or what they are actually, give us some good tips or some advice of how they navigated certain things with their tarot journey. Or if you are stuck and you feel that you'd like some help, this is the place to ask, okay? Do you remember I have been a tarot consultant, teaching the tarot, as well as a tarot advisor, giving tarot readings, but I worked with tarot readers, 250 tarot readers, needing help with clients and how to actually navigate the reading with clients and what they're asking, what's the best way forward. So, you know, I know how hard it can be. And I know that we can sometimes think, you know, I want to be a reader, but what puts me off is tarot reader? What I actually do, am I a tarot reader? What I mean by that is quite often people get it into their head that they've got to be like somebody they've seen, or some sort of vision of, I'm doing tarot and it's got to be like this. You know, you might see things on social media of how it's done in certain ways, using lots and lots of different sort of oracle cards and blending and multiple ways. Can be very confusing, of course. Or it can be about the fact that some of what's going on now is people want an answer. They want a short and sharp answer, yes or no, is it this or that? And then you're thinking, well, actually, I wanted to really give a full reading and give somebody some perspective so that they could then go off and make some choices based on everything that you had to offer in that reading. But your style might be very different to someone else's. And that's wonderful, because that uniqueness that you get in the way that you deliver a tarot reading is like no one else's. But it can be hard to actually say, well, what method? Or I'm scared and I don't know if I'm getting this right. And that's what this is all about, to be able to give you all of that information which is in the courses, all of that support which is in the courses, and this little top up here to be able to sort of just focus on certain cards. We're going in chronological order every week on a Thursday. My chronological order, which is we've done all the major cards, and if you've missed that, go back and watch it. And now we're doing all the minor cards, so we've still got another, where are we? Well, we've got over 50 weeks worth of content that we're going to be coming at and looking at just that one card on its own, and then how that card can come up in a reading if you use a pair. And a question I like to keep it the same for you, which is, how is that going to be when I actually put two cards together and make a pair? And a pair will actually tell you, the minor card is the background information and the background effects that are affecting what that major card is. Okay, instead of just going, oh, we've got judgment, that means this person's at a crossroads. We can say, they're at a crossroads. Their question was about work. We can see that crossroads has caused them to think very differently they've had a new idea, they're starting to talk to themselves differently. How do we know that? Ace of Swords is our own communication, it's our thought process. It's piercing that crown, you know, that chakra up here. It's piercing that crown, and it's telling us that what we've got to do is look at the pros and cons, and we've got to see the roadblocks that's going to be ahead. Okay, here's our link. So we did the World card. Let's move that along and let's look at this one. Okay, wow, there you go, the Hermit. That's a good one because the Hermit, of course, is Virgo. Virgo is attached to the 6th house in astrology, and the 6th house is all about work. And we've said that we want our question to be, what's ahead for me at work? What do you see? Here, it's showing that this person is very dutiful. They're very experienced. We're getting all this from the Hermit, of course. That they are able to handle things with wisdom, with a sense of maturity. They are in a place where they are able to shed light on the situations. They're able to do things and work on their own. They are of service, they are of duty to other people, and they are an inspiration to everybody. But there is a certain sense of perhaps enjoying being alone in their field of work, and also being very dutiful and very disciplined. The Hermit, of course, can also talk about the fact that this is service and duty. Service and duty, what are we talking about? Well, the kind of careers where, you know, it's a bit of a vocation. The services, of course, the army, the navy, you know, all of those, all the emergency services, also counselling, and also the sense of being able to know that our person has a sense of experience and maturity. So they've walked the boards. You know, that's why our Hermit's kind of got this white beard showing age. We hope that as we age that we are wiser, and that's sort of what this card's telling us. Fusing it with the Ace of Swords, it's saying that there's been some ideas to put to use. All of that knowledge to help other people, to help people be in a place where maybe they can be mentored, or maybe they can offer support or a system. So they're thinking about how they can utilize and use all of those skills that have been so important in their life. And, you know, it's all this knowledge and it mustn't go to waste. Can you see sort of where we're coming from? And so that is about mentoring people, teaching people, but there's a new idea. It's about, how can I do this? It's kind of what happened to me when I actually started the YouTube channel. It's like, oh, I can do readings. And that was completely wrong, because I didn't actually need to advertise that I needed more readers, work for readings, should I say, but more to do with the fact that, is there anyone out there that would like some help when it comes to how to learn the tarot? Are you thinking of becoming a professional? You see? So in my case, I could very much go back and roll the clock back a few years here and say, yeah, you know, I did it in my career, but I didn't think to do it on the YouTube channel. It was more a case of, oh, I'll show my readings and they'll know what I'm about. Had to take a while to actually turn around and fathom it out and go, hold on, I'm confusing people here, you know. And I did do both. I did one session a week and free readings, and the other one was how to actually give you some tarot tips, support and advice. But then I kind of went, actually, it's really important that we do the courses, because people are asking, where can I do this? And of course, online is the best way. Everything's downloads now in seconds, or mine isn't. Mine is all about the fact that you actually go onto a learning management platform where you can watch the videos anytime you like, as in, and keep going back to your lessons and learn at your own pace. But you're also given the system. The system comes up as in intermediate, and intermediate introduces you to pairs, which is what we're doing here, but much more than what we're doing here. Why? Because we'll be talking about the different positions that comes up and what it means and how to lay out a spread, and not to just go, oh, I'll do past, present and future. It's not enough for people. I can tell you it's not enough simply because those kind of readers that used to come and do that on my platform, and I did find the actual what shall I call it, psychic platform where tarot readers, you could phone them or you could message them or you could get an email reading, and we were busy round the clock. But out of 250 readers, those that were popular were the ones that were able to actually dig deep, go in and answer the questions, or to be able to look at a map of somebody's life and put all the pieces of the puzzle together. So an awful lot goes on with that, and then they'll come back to you over and over and over because you're able to give them that information. If it's just a brief yes or no, it's like, thanks, bye. Oh, someone else is doing it. Right, what they're saying, yes or no. Yep, that's what I want. Sometimes that's for other people, of course. But to give a reading, a proper reading, what people are looking for is to have 20 minutes, half an hour, where the cards are simply giving that guidance based on now, how does the map look like, and if we carry on as we are, what's the likelihood of X, Y, and Z happening? So we're only looking at one piece of the puzzle when we do this session with pairs. Okay, right. Let's have a quick look at. I'm hoping that this will be okay. I've got a birth chart calculator for free on the website, tarotwithemery.com. Do go and have a look at that. Okay, here it is. Okay, so here's the free birth chart calculator. So you just pop in all your details, as you can see here. I've just made one up, and then you press apply, and then your wheel will come up. Then you've got all of the planets and what house they're in, and you can go into interpretation, like you can see there, and then in it comes. Yeah, this person's got a moon in Capricorn, a sun in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, Venus in Pisces. Wow. Yeah, but look at the rest of it. All these different astrological or planets or houses or aspects, trines, and you don't need to worry about that with the tarot cards, but it's nice to know a little bit more than just what the cards are actually saying. And so if you get used to looking at the fact that we are just more than just our star sign. Why do I talk about that? Because tarot is very, very much, in my case and how I teach it, fused with astrology, because you are getting so much. Or look at this one. We've got the Fool and we've got the Ace of Swords. So what's the combination saying to us here? There's a new beginning. Okay, you are taking a leap of faith into the unknown, and the Fool is associated with the planet Uranus or Uranus, whichever way you wish to pronounce it. And if we look at that, it's like, okay, I've had a new idea. So everything about this is brand new. Let's just say, I'm going to just bring this in for a moment because I think it's important. You know, when somebody asks about that relationship question, which everybody does, and that's why I tend not to do that on here, just simply because it can be easy to answer about someone else if you've seen other people working like that. When it comes to work, people are not covering that quite so much. So I wanted to make it a little bit different and to help you with the fact that, yeah, that can be an awkward question. What do you mean? I don't know what's going on in your work. I don't know what you do. Of course, you're not meant to be reading their mind or knowing everything about them. But really, we're able to say, well, whatever it is that you're doing right now at the moment, you are really about to go on a new journey. But in the case of, let's say it's a romance question and somebody says, you know, I've met somebody new, and this came up in this place and this position in the spread that I teach that would tell you about other people. If you saw this, you would know that this was the person they're asking about. A, because of the position. B, because the Fool, if only just got going. There's no history here. They didn't know each other from school. This isn't someone from the past. And if they said, gosh, you're not looking at my ex, are you? I hope not. Absolutely not. The Fool is a brand new person. Yeah? And the Ace of Swords is starting to embark upon new communication. Okay? Back to our work question. How am I going to get on at work? Well, there's new challenges there that you are thinking about, you're talking about, and yeah, you are actually going, go for it. You know, the outcome that comes along here, good, bad, indifferent, you're just going to say part of the journey. Yeah, I'll either make it or break it. I'll accept the consequences. So there's that going on with the Fool. But the Ace of Swords is also all the background effects of what they're hearing from other people, based on conversations they've had, the kind of things that's whirring in their mind. And it's not a case of, oh, I was talking to a man and he talked about a new job. It could be something as bizarre as saying, do you know something? I was inspired by somebody the other day because of the way in which maybe they live their life, their lifestyle, you know. There's always a good one. They seem to be able to work, you know, online. They're working remotely and they've got their flexibility. They can choose their own hours. And although I don't want to do that, or I do, whichever it is, I am looking at actually going, I'm feeling pretty stuck right now and I want to change it. And I'm ready to actually look at ways in which that can happen. So that's what this combination is. Incidentally, if you do want some help and some worksheets, not just the courses, or instead of the courses, here's a PDF that's on the website that you can look at. Let's show you that. Okay, so there's lots and lots of different things there. You see, I've gone through. And I've tried to keep it really basic for you. Yes, no questions, which is what I was talking about, all the cards. You can see, you know, there's our wands and what goes on, and pointing out symbology, things that you should be looking at. So that's a nice one to have. Or of course, you know, this is what it looks like. If you want to choose it, that's the front cover. It's a tarot symbolism workbook journal. We've got loads of different things like that on the actual website to help you along. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what do we have? Bear with me. I'm just trying to move my PDF and it will not move. So I might need to jump to another scene. Why is that not moving along? Okay. I'm going to go back to this one. Sorry, folks. I just can't move the PDF along. So they look quite simple. It's frozen for a moment. Bear with me. Right, there we go. Got it back. So, our Magician. So, the Magician and the Ace of Swords. What kind of combination is that? Well, person's asking about work. It's all very much about communication. Ace of Swords, a cut through, a breakthrough in their thinking. The Magician is saying that this person really is, they're lined up with this right now, you know, because we've got the four elements on the table there. We've got the sword, we've got the cup, we've got the wand, we've got the pentacle, we've got the crystal one that he's holding, we've got that sign of infinity there, and we've got all the growth that's going on in the background behind our beautiful magician. But what that's telling us is categorically that this person is a product ready to go. But they had a new flash of inspiration, a cutting through. You know what? I'm smart, but maybe I should do it this way. This way might be better. You know, successful people will always be prepared to keep moving along with new ideas, new inspiration, new communication. They're always looking for something that's going to inspire them. And based on that yes or no, and that yes or no is that double-edged sword. So our Ace of Swords is, cutting away from the old, looking at what problems are there, and the problems in the card are the mountains that represent the challenges that they may need to navigate here and there. And we've also got that breakthrough where it's like, right, well, based on what I've heard, what's going through my own thinking, based on maybe something that's subconsciously being picked up by something they've heard, something they've read, something they've looked at. They've been inspired in some way to actually go, I could do that. This is how I could change it. So in our work question, it's like, look, you're ready to go. You're weighing up all the pros and cons of how this is going to look. You're looking at the good, you're looking at the not so good, and you're looking at being realistic. And this may have some challenges along the way. And based on that, you are acquiring what it is you want. With the Ace of Swords, if they said, am I going to do it? And if we have, a combination, whatever combination is there, because we've got a sword, we don't know. Because a sword is a thought or part of our communication. It is not action. Okay? So there is nothing about this saying, oh yeah, you're definitely going to do it. I can see it with the Ace of Swords. It's their thought process. So they may be thinking it, but they might think, nah, I don't have enough money, enough time, truly want to do it, but I'm not going to do it. So you can't say from the Ace of Swords itself or the suit of swords that this person will do it, because we are being told it is about how they are thinking, how they are perceiving and viewing reality, and it's very much about the background effects of communication that's seeping in from everywhere, isn't it? We are always privy to hearing something, reading something, looking at something, listening to conversations that may have nothing to do with us. People watching and going, oh gosh, that's a really good idea. Or I saw something today and I need to know a lot more about that. It isn't always about, I had a conversation directly about this, okay? Always remember that, please, because that person might be going, well, I've not spoken to anyone, I don't know. It's like, well, did you see this? Just be honest and just go, look, here is the communication. And it's had an impact on you, whether it's on the subconscious or whether it's been on a conscious level, okay? But it's not a direct action. There is no guarantee with the suit of swords at all, okay? It's all in the process of thinking. Do I want to? What's the good? What's the actual problems that lay ahead? What will it cost me? Time, money, heartache, yeah, a long time. I haven't got time. And all these things will run into the equation. And you might go, but the magician says everything about it. It does. It means they have the capacity to do this, but will they? We cannot answer that. And it's not a prediction, as I always say, but really do remember, if push comes to a shove, as it were, and you are backed into a corner and someone says, am I definitely going to go for this? And it's like, no, we don't know. Cannot answer that. What's actually going on right now for you is quite simply the process of the thoughts of I might, and I'm looking at ways in which I can make things happen. Okay, I know I've been away, but we seem to be missing quite a few people tonight. I hope you'll all sort of join us soon. It'd be lovely to see you all as always. Right, I'm going to just shrink that down a wee bit because that needs to go there. Right, okay. Seeing as we've got no questions, we'll probably be finishing up a little bit earlier. Do remember, I know the clocks have changed, so you know, maybe that's a good reason for it. Okay. One of the things I think that comes up with this pair is if somebody's asking, how am I getting on at work? And you see the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords. It's really a case of people come to you at work and this comes up. It's like, look, you know, you don't actually realise how much you're affecting other people in a really positive way. You know, they're not kind of revealing that to you yet, but you will hear about it. So it's like, well, they don't tell me that. The High Priestess, why am I saying that? Well, it's a secret yet to be revealed. Yeah? So you're perhaps not getting the pat on the back, even though you think you should be, and by now you should have heard and all of this. Remember, you know, the High Priestess. Also, the High Priestess is actually saying, if you're feeling a bit lost at work, it's telling you, you know what, we will show you the way, but we're not showing you right now. Again, because it's about being revealed in the future. So this person may be going, well, I'm thinking of this and I'm thinking of that. And it's like, keep going for it. Because the more you do your part, the more that the universe can actually support you in that. Always remember that the universe will actually always support you if you do your bit. And what I mean by that is, if you're keen and you're looking and you're going, right, I don't know what it is, will it come to me? Yes. Yes. It'll come to you in your thinking. It'll come to you in some way or shape or form via communication, because that's what the Suit of Swords is. So you're being inspired in many different ways, okay? I'm going to be really suffering soon because it's getting really, really warm and the weather outside. And if I turn my aircon on, it does actually really interfere with the sound and the microphone. So I'm going to have that on and make it like an icebox in here before I start. But if I start melting, I will have to say to you all, forgive me. I'm going to whack it on for a few minutes and we'll perhaps edit that bit out later. Okay, so any questions, anybody? Has anybody got anything that they're struggling on? No? Oh, I assume you're all doing okay then. Yeah? And the astrology bits and the planet bits, do find out as much as you can. And you know, I urge you to know. It's like the High Priestess. You know, what astrological sign has that got? Well, it hasn't. It's a planet, and that's the moon. Okay? So the High Priestess very much works in conjunction with the moon. And as I said, a fate to be revealed. Something that's coming up. Hello! I was getting very lonely. How are you? Hello! Oh, don't worry. I think that, listen, it's fine. And I know that, you know, I recorded things. Oh gosh, my hair's in a knot, sorry. Ah! Can't move it. I know that I was away and I recorded the ones for while I was away. I didn't want you to miss out on anything. And, you know, got into a nice rhythm, didn't we? So, oh, Carla's saying hi to you. Oh, bless you. Have you just finished Passionate Saji? Yeah? Have you finished for the day? Or have you finished for now and have to go back to it? Yeah? Yeah. So, although I did readings while I was away, some, you know, it was like I needed to record everything, and our trip was just meant that, you know, we couldn't do things the way we wanted to do them. So yeah, I recorded it. So yeah, we are on our journey of the minor arcana, and just the minor arcana can actually, you know, just one card on its own, oh gosh, what do I say to that? There's not much going on in that picture, but there's tons going on. There you go. Passionate Saji, just to say to you, I have someone that is willing to pair with you, and it's someone that, why not, she said. She's done the courses, she did them when I did them, thinking about it. She's done the courses, she now works as a reader, and she's like me. She's always looking for more information, and she's normally the one that's learning, but in her case, I think that because she uses this situation, oh gosh, bless you. Yeah, I know. Gosh, bless you. Providing all that lovely help for people. It's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, so Fee is willing, F-I, Fee, Fifi, it's part of her name, okay? Fee is willing to actually be a partner. She said it would need to be in the mornings, because there's a time difference where she is. So the mornings probably would be, let me see, I would say we're looking at, let me just calculate it based on what the clock is for her. Her mornings, so probably my guess would be there's a 2-hour difference, so work that out. She's 2 hours ahead of you. Like you, she does, she starts I think at 11 on the platform, goes up to whatever time, takes a break, does what she needs to do, and you know, eat, sort her animals and her family out, etc. And yeah, then she goes back. But that means that once she starts her day with work, and that's why she said it's got to be mornings, and she does 7 days a week, because she does a couple of hours. I'm trying to think of her work schedule, because I'm trying to think in the time zones. I think she starts at 11 a.m. and then I think from then on it's like boom, you know. So she said the mornings. So if you work that's before 11, and obviously not on the knuckle, maybe you're talking sort of between 9 and 10:30, or even earlier if that's what you wanted to do. She's an early bird and has insomnia, so I know that, you know, she's up early, but there you go. And yeah, she said, yeah, she's willing. She's used this system, and she would never have gone on the platforms without it. I know that for a fact. Okay, and I was the one that kind of helped her along, and got her started, got her going, as I did with all the students that did the courses, went on to be professional readers, apart from one. And he had a excellent position, day job, and to be honest, it was just, didn't work out for him to be able to leave that day job at all, simply because, you know, he'd put so many years into the actual job that he just couldn't let it go. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. I meant to tell you. And she's, yeah, I think you'll definitely gain from it. And she's always on courses. You know, if there's a course coming, when I say that, what I mean, even though she uses this, I'm in courses too. I've just completed an astrology course, another one, and another coming to the end of numerology course. I think that ends either this week or next week. Very interesting. I need to do my homework, but I didn't miss my online classes as in with that. And then I'm going to go even deeper into a really big academy with the astrology, because it works so well. And what's really great is the person that's teaching all of us does it online, and like me, the courses are recorded and you can look at them anytime you want. So I'm being a student like you, but I'm doing more to do with, much more to do with astrology, so that hopefully at the end of it, you know, I will be able to be a professional astrologer based on just that, even though I've used the astrology very, very heavily in tarot because it was my first choice. But back then in the day, being able to get one's birth chart was not like you've got access to on my website. And I bounced up and down with my team and said, come on, you've got to find one. We've got to be able to have it. And we really tried to look for the right one, so that A, it wasn't charging you or sending you off somewhere else or giving you some sort of, you know how you can get all these websites where it's like it starts advertising and it starts to look really messy and that, and it's like, I didn't want any of that. None of us did. We just wanted it to be that you could go and look at it. Passionate strategy, treat yourself to being able to go and have a look at your own birth chart and sit there and pull it apart. Because the more you pull it apart and go, what does it mean if, you know, that planet's in that sign and all that? Oh, really? Thank you very much. If you saw me last week, you wouldn't have said that. Oh, thank you very much indeed. I managed to get a little bit of sun. I think it was Friday and Saturday. Couple of hours. We were near a beach and we went and sat there. The rest of it, yeah, it was medical and it was hell. Why? Just simply because it took all our time. It was incredibly tiring, so much anaesthetic for me, and yeah, I felt as if I was up with the fairies for all the wrong reasons, you know. I'm quite sensitive, so yeah, anaesthetics, etc. But yeah, it was necessary, and I'm very grateful to the team of experts that actually made it possible for me. So I'm grateful for that, yeah. So thank you very much. That means an awful lot when I felt like the grey lady last week, and I felt like after all of that, it was so physically tiring, and I could see it. And even I saw Fee today actually, and she said to me, oh my gosh, that's a picture of you last week. And I went, yeah. And she went, doesn't even look like you. You look so battered, tired, and drained. And that's how well I was. So thank you very much. That is really, really made my day, because it certainly was the opposite last week. And I was thinking, oh, crikey, they're not going to know me. So another combination, right? Let's say question here is about work. And this comes up and it's like, right, okay. Now, I remember seeing on a group that had something about the Empress coming up. And someone said, if this comes up as a work question and the Empress comes up, what kind of jobs might the Empress do? Because that's a nice one to actually have a chat about. So the Empress is all about nurturing. And so I have a list that I was given many, many, many years ago by my tutor back in the day. Can't even remember. And my tutor gave us a list of jobs and explained why those jobs actually fitted. So sometimes it's a nice thing to actually look at a pair and go, if they're asking about work, it's not, hey, do you do this? Because the Empress is a nurturer, a mother figure, this, that, and the other. But in this group, somebody was saying, what kind of jobs? This is really helpful that you've got this list. Yeah. And she said nursing. Absolutely. But that's just one of. Yeah. Working from home. Absolutely. Sorry, I should be putting this up. That's one of them. Absolutely. You know, but also remember the Empress goes with the planet Venus. And this person came back to me and went, why does it say the beauty industry? And it's like, look, this was given to me. I've just given you the list. There's all of these here. Take what you want from it. But this person really was very angry about that. Found it. I don't think it's that at all. Each their own. But really, a bit silly when you know that the Empress is ruled by the planet Venus. And the planet Venus is all about beauty. Anything, absolutely. Something creative, absolutely. So if our person's asking, and we get this pair, they're asking about work, yeah, we've got all that you've said. It's the possibility of nursing because of the Empress. They may want to work from home. They're thinking about this. So what we've got here is, you know what? If we've got this as a pair, then we've got this beautiful combination here that's actually saying this person is very creative. They are very caring. They are very giving. But they are also, you know, they're attracted to beautiful things. They can create beauty and harmony. They may be beautiful on the outside as well as the inside. But what does it mean for them at work? It means they're starting to think along the lines of all of those qualities about themselves. Maybe they're feeling like, you know, they are the person that plays the part of mother. Yeah? So you could have that. You know what I mean? Is it like nannying or nursing or nursery nursing? It's all of those things. You know, the person that's able to give, you know, the Empress is the mother figure in tarot. That's the first thing, like the Emperor is the father figure. But she nurtures, you know, this could even be, look at the scenery behind. You may be thinking about wanting to work the land. Something creative, absolutely. Could be working from home. I want to work from home. I want to grow my own things. I want to, you know, do things in a very organic way. I want it to be beautiful, you know, very creative. It could be art. They're thinking about it. And it's like, well, will I do it? Again, when you've got a sword, we don't know. So that's why when we've got the other positions, we can look to see if the suit, i.e., we're moving from swords into action like wands, or we get the emotional side of it. You know, you might think you want to do something, but what do you feel about it? Because based on feelings, it's our feelings that cause us to act once we've actually thought about things. And if we feel, oh, I can't be bothered, you're not going to do it. Or if you go, I'm really driven by this, I've got a few obstacles, but I'm going to see if I can find a way around it to make it happen, they're on their way. So you might see that when you're actually looking at the cups, that was coming up. And we'll be getting to those points where we're going to study. So our next session will be the Two of Swords, and we'll go right through the sword family, through the court cards, of course, and to help you with all of that. So yeah, it's all to do with looking at that bigger picture and, you know, just discussing that. And that's, I had no intention of saying that's important in a pair, but it's nice, isn't it? We're discussing, gosh, do you know, like I said about the Hermit, do you know the Hermit can be a counsellor? You know, I know you watch the replay, Passionate Saji. So yeah, can be of service. Service means, you know, all the emergency services, the Air Force, the Navy, you know, all of those. The Army, they're of service and duty. You know, they like the discipline. They like, you know, that kind of regime. There's a perfectness, an organisation, and there is the experience and the expertise that comes in with the hermit. So that can be a great mentor, a great counsellor. They're mature beyond their years, maybe. They may be a young person, but they may have acquired so much experience and knowledge that they want to put it to some good use. So this is why we can start looking. This is why I think it's so much better when we actually start to look at how does it work if we're actually looking at using a pair and the question. I think the question about work is much more interesting for you to study than a relationship that's hypothetical, and there's so much of that out there that you can go and see. That you've only got to turn on one of social media like YouTube and you'll see all readers kind of talking about relationships. So there's plenty of examples of that. Just wanted to give you something that you might go, gosh, that's all very well and good. I've got lots and lots of good examples of what that might be, but what about work? So in work, we would say to this person, based on this pair, you're thinking of doing something that makes you feel happy. You want to share your creations, your skills. You're forming something. You're able to actually make something grow. So whatever this is, something's growing. And in our picture, the Empress, she does look a little bit like it's possible that she could be pregnant, and that's growth, as in that something will conclude. And we've got the land there, and able to actually make something happen. But this is still the beginning. So it's a new way of thinking. I'm thinking about how I can be creative. It's like somebody saying, I'm really thinking of actually giving up my day job and I want to actually go and pursue my spiritual sort of career. That would be a perfect one. Or someone saying, you know what, I don't want to give up the day job, but I really want to add another string to my bow. And, if you look at the Empress and you see the Ace of Swords there, that could be seen as a knife or a needle, And remember I said beauty. Put the two together. Yeah, passionate surgery, if thinking about that. It could be someone that wants to go into the beauty industry, and this may be to do with injections in the beauty industry, or even the surgeon's knife. So there may be actually, and we're talking about work, not them having the procedure. But can you see where this is coming from? And if it was something creative, it could be, that we could look at this and go, right, they want to communicate that creativity. Might want to write a book. I've had a few people this week that are authors. These are the kind of cards you see. They're creating something. Yeah? They're communicating with other people. They didn't have, it started with the Ace of Swords, but, it's gone much, much further down the line. Okay. Right, let's have a quick look at the courses. So here they are. Okay, so here's the website, and at the top on the top line there, you can see courses. Press on that. Here's Tarot Mastery, and that covers all of the beginning of learning your cards, and you could see some of them on there. But then we've got the intermediate, and I've done the court cards completely separate because there's 16 of them. And people get in a bit of a pickle when it comes to court cards. And the advanced course can really only be done if you've actually done the intermediate, because then you are learning to use a lot more of the cards and different positions, building and building and building your spread. So you can answer timelines, talk about foreign countries, be able to make fusion of how things will tell you whether something's local or something's international. Okay, and then we've got the cups, so I divided up the minor arcana so you could just focus on them, just like we do here. Because if you try and take it all in together, it just becomes chaos and you feel completely overwhelmed. I think it's always nice to actually take the time. And I also think it's nice, I know people talk about meditating with your cards, so I encourage you to do that, of course. But I think it's also nice to be able to say, you get to a point where you need a system, so you know that you've ticked that one off and you're going to go back to it later, but you're not going to go back to it unless there's a reason to, and so you're going to work on the next card. So this is what we're doing. We're going to Ace of Swords as we were, and then we'll be doing Two of Swords on Thursday, where I tell you everything about that card, and then we'll study it with other cards and talk about the combinations and what it can actually mean when somebody asks a question. And you can change the question if you want. That's absolutely fine. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Wonderful to see you all again. And yeah, I'm back with our lives, as in pretty much for the foreseeable future. There's always going to be something that can crop up and I have to record it, I guess, but I'm not planning on it. Okay, do take care of yourselves and each other. And don't forget, I'll see you on Thursday for the Two of Swords. Okay, and don't forget combinations next Tuesday and how to read the Two of Swords and what cards go with it and how it might change that nuanced meaning and interpretation of the cards. You can hear my doggies scratching at the door. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.